So friends, let's see today's lovely tomato omelette recipe, which is completely veg. So now I've taken a bowl. To the bowl I'm going to add 1 cup of chickpea flour or besan and 1/4 cup of rice flour. Now I'm going to add salt to taste and mix the 3 dry ingredients really well together. Next I'm going to be adding about 2 tablespoons of dahi. I will leave a link to how I make the dahi at home. You can also use ready-made dahi. Now I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of water and just whisk it all well together. Now I'm going to add about 2 more tablespoons and again whisk it. So we want a thick batter. We don't want a very runny dosa kind of batter, but we want a thick pancake kind of batter or ghavan kind of batter. Now next I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera from my spice box. Next I'm going to add half a teaspoon of ajwain or ova, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder and half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hing. Now whisk all of this really well together. Again I'm going to add about just a 1/4 cup of water and again mix all the ingredients into the batter. Again I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of water. Basically I'm looking for a thick pancake batter consistency. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of baking soda and about 1 tablespoon of oil and mix all of this really nicely together. Now keep your pan heating up if you're using an iron thick pan. And now I'm going to add 1 green chili that I've cut fine, 1 small onion that I've chopped fine. And since this is a tomato omelette, so I'm going to add 2 medium-sized tomatoes which I've chopped fine. I'm going to add also a 1/4 cup of fresh coriander that I've chopped and now mix everything well. Now if you're using a non-stick pan, you can heat it up just about 2 minutes before you start. But if you're using a heavy iron pan like the one I'm using, my dosa pan basically, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of the batter and I'm going to spread it out, not very thin, not very thick, just like a pancake or a ghavan. So that it's evenly spread out. Keep your flame between low and medium. And now I'm just going to add a few drops of oil. You can also use ghee or clarified butter. Just a little, say about a 1/4 teaspoon. And then just swirl it around so that it goes all over the ghavan. Now we're just going to cover and cook it for half a minute. After half a minute, just loosen the edges. And then just flip it onto the other side and fry the other side as well. Now we're just going to fry it for about half a minute on this side. And then I'm just going to pour a few drops of ghee and then flip it over. That's completely optional. And now just transfer it to a serving plate. And in this way you can make, all the tomato omelettes. Or you can even store it in a refrigerator for a day or 2. So with this batter, you get about 10 medium-sized tomato omelettes. See that it's fried well so that your pan is nice and hot. And cover and cook it just for about half a minute. And you'll see that the edges become golden brown in color. That's the time you loosen it, flip it over. Just fry it for a little while on the other side too. So it will look like this on the top of the ghavan or the tomato omelette rather. And this is the other side. And serve this with some ketchup or green chutney. This is a great snack item or a breakfast item and it gets ready also very quickly. So do try out this recipe and I'll catch you in my next video. This is Akshata signing off. Bye. Let me take you through the ingredients. This is 1 cup of chickpea flour or besan. This is 2 tablespoons of fine rava or semolina. This is 1 tablespoon of ginger and green chili paste. This is 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, some salt to taste, half a teaspoon of haldi powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 Eno packet, then some water. This is for the fortni or the tadka. I've taken 2 light green chilies, a few curry leaves, a little bit of coriander for garnish. Here I have half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, and again 1 tablespoon of sugar. I have my steamer ready. I put some water inside the steamer and started to boil the water, and I've kept this kind of plate on top of it. And here I have just greased this pan with a little bit of oil, or brushed it with a little bit of oil. So let's start making this dhokla. So first I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients, that is the besan, the rava, the salt to taste, the sugar, the haldi or turmeric powder, and I'm going to mix everything well together. Now for the green chili paste, I've taken about 1 green chili and half an inch of ginger. Now I've added about 1 cup of water, and I've made this into a thin batter. Not a very runny batter, not a very thick batter. Just 1 cup of water for 1 cup of besan. Now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of oil. And again I'm going to mix everything well together. I'm going to add the lemon juice. Now I'm going to add my green chili and ginger paste. Mix that in well. And now my steamer is ready, and when I'm just ready to put the dhokla into the steamer, I'm going to add the Eno and I'm going to mix it up well till the mixture doubles in size. Then I'm going to pour everything into the plate or the greased dish, and I'm going to put it into the steamer. Now I've closed the steamer and I'm going to steam it for exactly 20 minutes. Now after 20 minutes you can see that it starts leaving the sides of the pan, and also if you insert a clean knife you'll get it very clean. So now we're going to transfer this dhokla onto a plate. First I'm just loosening the edges, and then I'm just going to cut them into square size pieces. And now I'm going to prepare my tadka or my fortni. So I've heated about 2 tablespoons of oil. In go my mustard seeds. When they begin to splutter, I'm going to fry the green chilies. Fry them really well. Once that is done, we're going to add in the hing or asafoetida, the curry leaves. Mix everything well together. Then we're going to add in the sugar, and we're going to add about half a cup of water. Now you can turn your gas off and just mix everything well. And now we're just going to pour this over our dhokla and then garnish it with some fresh coriander, and your dhokla is all ready to enjoy. welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you all how to make a very simple veg grilled sandwich with very few ingredients, stuff that we always have in our kitchen. So let's head on to my kitchen and start with today's veg grilled cheese sandwich. So friends, let's see how to make this green chutney for the sandwiches. Now, I've taken about 3 light green chilies. These chilies are not really very spicy, but they add a lovely flavor. Just 2 small cloves of garlic, about 1 cup of fresh coriander, and about 1 inch of ginger. So I'm just going to add all of this to my mixer pot. And I'm going to add some salt. And grind this to a very fine paste. Now I'm going to also add a little bit of lemon juice, about half a lemon juice, half a lime, because that retains the lovely green color of the chutney and it also adds a beautiful flavor to the chutney. And once that is done, you can transfer the chutney to a bowl. So now let's start making this amazing veg cheese grilled sandwich. Now this sandwich is very simple to make and it has very few ingredients, stuff that we always have in our kitchen. So let's go through the ingredients. Now I've just chopped up some capsicum and some onions into thin strips or slices. Then I'm using some finely ground black pepper, some chaat masala, some grated cheese and some bread. Now I'm using brown bread, but you can use white bread too. Now I've got a pan heating on a low flame. I'm going to take my slices of bread. So I'm going to be making 2 sandwiches. So I've taken 4 slices of bread. Now I'm going to just apply some butter onto all the 4 slices. So you can just cut up your vegetables into thin slices like this, 1 capsicum and 1 onion. You can do it in advance so that you can just get the sandwich ready when you need to serve. And then I'm just going to spread some of the green chutney onto one side of the sandwich, so onto 2 slices. Then I'm just going to add some of the chopped up capsicum or green bell pepper. You can add as much or as little as you like. This adds a lovely crunch to the sandwich. And then I'm going to add up my thinly sliced onions. Next, I'm just going to sprinkle some black pepper powder. Now, this is homemade pepper powder. All you need to do is just roast the peppercorns. Once they come to room temperature, just grind them to a fine powder. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some chaat masala. You can add as much or as little as you like. But the chaat masala also really elevates the taste of this sandwich and it really makes it very tasty. And then I'm just going to add some regular processed cheese, grated cheese. You can add mozzarella too, or any cheese that you regularly add to your sandwiches. Remember to heat your pan. You can use a sandwich pan or you can use a normal regular tawa or pan that we use. And then just apply a little bit of butter onto one side. And then place the sandwiches onto the pan. And just press them down. Now, one trick which I like to do, which makes the sandwiches really, compact, is just put a plate and then put some kind of a heavy object on top of it. So here I'm just putting this heavy item on this, and then after that, one side is golden brown. You just put butter onto the other side. I just have this brass mortar, so I'm just going to put that because it's nice and heavy and it presses down the sandwich and makes it really compact and seals it up, just like you would get on any street cart or a sandwich stall. And do that to the other side too, and then just get the sandwich nice and golden brown on both sides. And that's as simple as it gets. This is really delicious and it gets ready also very quickly. So you can make it a very dark brown color, or you can just keep it as a nice golden brown color like this. And then once you cut it up, you can see that the cheese has melted and everything is really looking amazing. So do try this out, friends. So friends, let's see today's super simple yet delicious whole wheat potato tacos. So first I'm going to make the dough for making the tacos. So here I've taken a bowl and I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of oil. To that I'm going to be adding 1 cup of whole wheat flour, the same flour that we use to make puris, chapatis. Now I'm going to mix the flour and the oil well together. Now you could add a pinch of salt, but I don't add salt to my dough. So now I'm going to just mix the salt and the flour together, and I'm going to add a little water at a time, and I'm going to mix this and get a nice firm dough, just like you would with normal puris or chapatis. So you can use your chapati dough also for this. So knead it really well and then just set it aside for about 10 minutes. Now I've taken a pan to which I've added about 1 teaspoon of olive oil, and I'm going to add about 5 to 6 red chilies. Now you could use Kashmiri red chilies too, but these are the Guntur chilies, which are Andhra chilies. They have a lovely flavor, so if you can get your hands on them, nothing like it. Otherwise, you can use normal red chilies. Now, once they're fried, just take them out and let them cool. In the meantime, I'm just going to take 2 medium-sized onions and I'm just going to peel them. And then I'm just going to slice them really thin. I'll show you how. So just keep them like this and cut them lengthwise into very thin slices. And once you've cut them up, just separate them like I'll show you. And now we're going to add another half teaspoon of oil to the pan in which we fry the chilies, and we're going to fry these till they're nice and golden brown in color. So while they are frying and our chilies also have come to room temperature, we're just going to crush them roughly with our fingers, or you can even put them in a dry mixer. And we're going to grind them till we get something like this. Now I've taken 3 medium-sized potatoes and I've boiled them. I leave the instructions of how I boil the potatoes, and once they're boiled, I'm just going to peel them, and they have to be at room temperature or easy to handle. And I've taken 4 medium sized boiled potatoes, and I'm just going to crush them up roughly. Now I'm going to add this fried chilies mixture to it. Next, I'm just going to take a little bit of coriander, say about a 1/4 cup of coriander, which I've washed really well, and I'm going to chop it up really, really fine. So take a nice sharp serrated knife and just go over it about 2 or 3 times and chop it really, really fine. And now we're going to add this to our potatoes. Next, I'm going to add some salt to taste. And I'm now going to add the onions. You can see that they're nicely fried, so add the onions. And now we're just going to mix this well, and we have to just add about 2 more ingredients. And our mixture will be ready, or our filling for the tacos will be ready. So now I'm just going to squeeze the juice of half a lemon. And then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of black pepper powder. Once that is done, mix everything well, and this is our mixture all ready. So now let's make the tacos. Now for that, I've taken a small ball-sized part of the dough, and I'm just going to roll it out like you would with a roti or a chapati or a poi. And now since we want them to be all even sized, I've just taken a katori or a bowl like this. I've placed it on it, and I'm just going to cut it up with my knife. Take off the excess, and you will get this kind of nice round roti. Because we're doing this because we want all of them to be even size. Now just place them on a plate. Keep your pan heating on a very low flame because we have to roast these rotis now. So just do this for all. I'm making 4 at the moment. And now we're just going to roast them on our tawa till they nicely, puff up. Keep your flame between medium to high and just keep turning them like this, and in some time they'll fluff up. So just keep pressing them down as they fluff up. And that's one ready. In the same way, I'm going to take it out once it's ready, and I'm just going to make the rest of them in the same way. So once they start puffing up, you're just going to press them down. So in this way, I'm going to make 4 and keep them aside, and then we'll assemble our tacos. So now that they're ready, I'm going to show you how to assemble them. So take one of them on your, on a plate or on your rolling board. First, I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of tomato ketchup. Spread it out evenly. Next, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of red chili sauce. Next, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese just to one side like this, not in the center, but in the side. Then I'm going to put a little bit of the filling like this. Just place it gently like this. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little more of the cheese on the top. And then just press them together or fold one half like this. And just press it together. And once this is done, just keep it aside. So in the similar manner, I'm going to make all 4 of them and keep them ready. So first goes the tomato ketchup, the red chili sauce, a sprinkle of cheese, our filling, a little more cheese, and then just put it together. And then I'm going to heat just a little bit more of oil. I'm using olive oil. You can use regular oil. Just spread the oil out evenly. And then you're just going to place this ready taco on it, press it down, and you're just going to fry it till it's nice and crispy. Now, once it is done, just put it to the, just make the center of it also nice and crispy and lay it at the side. And in this way, you can prepare all four. Ensure that they're nice and crispy. This is such an amazing anytime snack or light meal. So you can even prepare this and keep them in your refrigerator. And when you're ready to serve, all you have to do is just fry them on your tawa with a little bit of oil till they're nice and crispy. And your lovely whole wheat potato tacos are all ready. All you have to do is just serve them. You can serve it with some ketchup or some red chili sauce, or just have it all by itself. It's super, super delicious. So I hope you do try out this recipe. I'll catch you in my next video. This is Akshata signing off. Take care, guys. Bye.